All right, so hello and welcome to today's coaching call on branding for mortgage and realty professional. As Sean said, I'm Trey and I'm the art director here at CMS Mortgage and Enjoy Marketing. Some of you I do know, and to others that I don't, it's nice to meet you. I'm excited today to talk about the importance of branding and how to build a strong brand that sets you apart from your competition. So to give a quick idea of what we'll be covering, I've listed that here. In short, we'll be introducing branding for those that aren't familiar and reviewing principles with those that are. We will discuss how to identify your brand, as well as ways to get your brand into the world. You will get a brief introduction to the tools available to you to get your brand out there, and finally, some action items to start to identify your brand and bring it to life. So jumping in, I think this quote from Howard Schultz, the former CEO of Starbucks, really sums up branding today. He says, if people believe they share values with the company, they will stay loyal to the brand. I'm sure there are several of you that have brands you show loyalty to, whether that be Starbucks itself, Apple. I know cars have a very, car manufacturers have a very loyal brand following. So those are just awesome examples of how we can identify with a brand and even use that brand to identify ourselves. So with that, we will, this quote stresses the importance also of identifying and communicating your mission as a brand, and that connection with your audience will give you a sustainable model to grow your business from and gain customer loyalty. So branding can seem like a vague buzzword and can be challenging to know how to create a brand that actually accurately represents your business. So we'll start with the basics. Branding is more than just a logo or a tagline. It's the personality of your company. It's the overall feeling you get when someone encounters your brand out in the world. So when it comes to building your business in the mortgage and realty space, branding is one of the most important factors. Your brand is going to be what separates you apart from your competition and will help you stand out in your market. It will speak volumes about your company's values and its reputation. Building a strong brand is not a one and done job. It requires a consistent effort and attention to detail. So how can you get your brand out to the world to present effectively in the world? There are two approaches. The first is going to be interpersonal communications. You want to identify your target audience and understand their needs. Knowing your audience is key to creating a targeted message that's going to resonate with them. You want to establish relationships with potential clients through networking events and attending community activities. People do business with those they know, like, and trust. Personal connections are going to be vital in this industry. Engaging with customers on social media platforms or via email campaigns, such as social media will provide an opportunity to showcase your brand's personality and start meaningful conversations with potential clients. You want to utilize your customer reviews and testimonials that'll build credibility and trust among potential customers. Reviews provide social proof, which will make your brand more trustworthy. Responding quickly to customer inquiries, comments, or complaints shows that you have timeliness and will reflect your abilities to operate business efficiently. Offer personalized customer service to build trust and loyalty, and a personal touch can make all the difference when it comes to building relationships with clients. Secondly, your visual communications. You want to develop a professional logo that identifies your brand effectively. The logo is an icon of your company and should be designed to leave a lasting impression. Consistently using brand elements such as your fonts, colors, and images, overall style throughout all your marketing material, like website, emails, business cards, and more. You will want your brand identity to be recognizable and consistent across all your platforms. Ensure that all visuals for promotion are eye-catching and attention-grabbing. This eye-catching visuals will leave lasting impressions. All right. Now, how can you identify your brand as a mortgage and realty professional, and how can you effectively communicate it? Begin by truly understanding your customers, who they are, what problems they face, and how you can solve those problems. Determine what sets you apart from your competition, what makes you unique, and how you can convey that to your ideal customer. Finally, establish your core values. What principles guide you on how you do business and interact with your customers? Mhm. And finally, make use of the available tools and resources that you can implement to make your brand better. Canva, Adobe Suite, Hootsuite, Maxa Portal through the CMS portal, and Enjoy Marketing have great resources to help you boost your brand. All right. Oops, I skipped a slide there. So here's some action items that you can start today to improve on your brand. Like I said, identifying your target audience and the problems they face, establish core values of your brand, create a professional and memorable logo, determine your visual branding elements, style, photo styling, fonts, and colors, and start implementing those consistently across all your platforms and channels. Develop a strong online presence, website, and social media. Engage with users on those platforms. Define your brand's unique selling proposition, and attend industry events and participate in relevant community activities. You want to utilize your customer testimonials and reviews and personalize your interactions with your customers. All right. So, in conclusion, branding can seem like a daunting task, but is crucial to the success of your business. By following these steps we discussed today, you can create a powerful and memorable brand that will help you stand out from the competition and build your business in the mortgage and realty space. Remember, building a brand is an ongoing process, and it requires consistent effort and attention to detail. Now you have the basics, you can start building a brand today. If you have any questions, I guess we could open that now, and then I'll also kick this out for any practices, this deck, for anybody who would like to further their development there.
Great job, Trey.
I can stop showing this now. Yeah, and so what I would do if I'll do this practice myself, is I'll kick this out, this presentation, and then I like to just go old school and go pen paper and just answer out those questions. A lot of them are going to be things that are kind of intuitive and you're already doing them, but writing them out is going to give you the ability to look at them, is going to give you a track record to refer back to. And then from there, you can figure out, okay, I want to lean more on this practice. I want to pull away maybe from that one, because a lot of times branding can be good elements, but there also can be negative sides to that too. I'm sure there's some brands that people have that left a bad taste in their mouth, so they would want to review that component or that interaction and pivot into a more a direction that aligns more with their goals. So that's just kind of like a good practice that I'll do for myself and for any of our clients or anyone in-house that we're kind of looking to enhance their branding. So any questions or anything anybody can think of?
Trey, I have a quick question. When it comes to LinkedIn, what do you recommend? So like a lot of us do like Facebook and Instagram, but what do you recommend we do on LinkedIn? I struggle with that one. Like I just post my classes there, but I'm not sure how social that is, if it needs to be just more business professional and more about education.
So you could do, LinkedIn's kind of cool because it allows you to post long form and short form. So say you've got a specific topic or something you want to talk about, you could write out a long form blog. You could use Jasper or some type of AI tool to help you get there. And then say you've got a 1.5, 2-page article that you've written. You can then pull, say, snippets from that where you're doing like, you could do a list that reviews that. You could funnel it all back to that original content, and then you could kind of drip down from there. So you've got the long form, maybe you do like a shorter list, and then maybe you just do specific highlights on that thing. So that 1 to 2 page article can create 10 to 14 different types of content that then you can then revisit when you're done with those and refresh that So that's kind of cool for LinkedIn specifically because it does give you the ability to post a lot of different content on there. And I find that most of that stuff that's going to be in there is going to be more like relevant to business, obviously, and developing those whatever specific skills that. Does that
Okay.
kind of?
It does. It's super helpful because I don't do much video on LinkedIn. But I do have, can you answer this? I have a YouTube channel that has some great educational videos on it. Can I just copy those and paste them into LinkedIn, or should I just share the link? Right now, what's the best way to actually be able to click on that?
I would say do both. You could drop the link and then maybe do a transcription of it. And then you've got the link for the video and an article that you could use.
Okay, cool.
I got coffee in one hand, water in the other.
There you go. Stay hydrated. Does anybody have any other questions? Brand scheme, color schemes, anything that peeks out from the presentation that you guys have question on?
Actually, I do have a question. So I have on my website and my company that I had previous to becoming a loan officer, I already had my website color scheme and all of that together. And now that I'm part of CMS, I wanted to integrate CMS on my website, but CMS's colors are completely different than my company's colors. Is there a way that I could just change the CMS logo colors to kind of integrate with my own company's colors?
Yeah, definitely. So we could do a couple different options there. We do have a monochromatic version of some of the branded material where that would just be like a grayscale version of that. So it's not the orange and the blue, more in black and white sort of there. But then you could also take the CMS branding and maybe figure out some overlapping areas where the color schemes can combine to do like a separate offshoot. So that way you can refer back to both of them. But I think like the more streamlined option is probably just going to be roll with the whatever palette you have that's recognizable to your base, and then you can use that monochromatic color to just add that additional branding.
Yeah. And then I thought again, maybe I'll just leave them as they are since it is a separate entity, but rather than create a whole new website just for the CMS content, Alexa and I had a nice coaching call where she gave me the idea. She showed me how she had it integrated into her website, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that's good because it saved me from having to do a whole new website. But yeah, the colors just weren't meshing.
Yeah, I think Alexa had submitted a Easter request recently where we had actually pulled some of those colors from we had modified the CMS branding to make it more Easter color palette. That too is another option to do that, where we can kind of modify things.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
And you could also is because you do have a CMS webpage, if you will, you can run a link from your website that sends it to the page there, and maybe on your website you have something pertaining to mortgage information or seeking more information about mortgages. Click here, and so now you're running that link from your website to the CMS front page site.
Right. That was actually Alexa's suggestion, and yeah, that was great. So it was just the color thing that was kind of had me stuck a little bit.
Trey, you did a nice job when you redid our logo for us, blending it with the CMS logo
Yeah,
too. It's a different color, but it blends with like the CMS icon, the little heart in the house. And so it blends really easy. And everybody now knows us as Mortgage Mamas and CMS. Like they just kind of really melted the two together. And it was a really good fit for us.
Oh, great. No, that's awesome. Because that is another, as far as like branding, showing those affiliations and those different partnerships and things, those are just going to be another notch to like level you up and like throw more authority behind, give you some weight there.
Yeah, do you recommend, I was going to ask, do you recommend having your own logo? Like if you're just a loan officer with CMS, I guess like in my situation, do you recommend having my own logo?
There that is a way to identify yourself. Say if you're content like consistently making content and putting out stuff to where you want to kind of identify yourself as like a content specialist in the industry, that would be a great way to identify that, and then again add weight with that partnership and the affiliation. But if it's one of those things where say that's going to pull you in another direction and maybe like go down the wrong path, maybe not spending that time now. But no, that is a great, like, and you can even do like, say you do like your signature, and every post you have, it has your signature and like the CMS house icon or the CMS word mark or something like that. There could be different ways to kind of tie those in, to where it's more of a, I mean, that's the point of the mark, is to give an identifier. But if you can use it as a more specific with your signature, and then you leave your mark there, gives them some type of thing to put with your content or your advice.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, definitely. And if you're interested in doing that, there are a few resources that show like reference work for logos, like Behance, Dribble. I mean, even just a Google search. Pinterest is really good. If you look up different types of logo marks that you kind of identify with, and that you kind of like, you see the value in, just start taking screenshots and building out like a folder or like a Word doc with those in there. And then you can kind of see like, okay, there's a pattern developing in this way. This might be representative of me. And then, yeah, I think a lot of people really struggle with like too much thought, just putting pen to paper. That's why I like writing so much. It just like knocks out those initial barriers and gets the ball rolling.
I think too, with an individual LO, I've seen some really nice, just classic logos, and it's literally just their name, but it's a really nice signature, but clear and legible, so you can actually read the name, not like too fancy where you can't read the name. And then just have the CMS logo right below it, and then you could even like do what Trey was saying earlier, like grayscale it out. But just doing like your name real nice, like you probably see those Facebook ads for like branding signatures now, with a little home with a heart in it or something, with like just simply your name. So you don't actually have to come up with like a company brand for one person, but really just branding your name by that CMS mortgage logo, I think would be cool.
Yeah, it's almost like a stationery set where you like, or super old school, where you had a stamp and Photoshop all your deals. But no, that is a great way to do that. And then too, if you've got like a specific, say you like the way your signature looks and you don't mind using that, you can just take a picture of that and we can figure out some way to make that work and turn it into a vector where you're able to use that and create sort of like a system off of that.
Well, thank you, Trey. I appreciate the information.
Oh, definitely. Glad. Thank you guys for your time. I appreciate you all listening.
Thank you so